Hi, Hunter. I really enjoyed your video. Thank you for sharing that and your perspective on our case study with Samir and feeding on empty. I really liked what you talked about aiming for consistency with Samir's feeding plan. So consistently getting her child fed rather than focusing on perfection in her case was um, I also think the best way to counsel and the most beneficial in terms of harm reduction for both her and her child. I loved what you said about validating for Samir that it's okay to make mistakes and that other people make mistakes because I think potentially as a new mother, she could feel like she is the only one that is maybe making those mistakes, and it's important to validate that a lot of people struggle with new changes and transitions, and this is a huge life transition that is very stressful. So, really being an empathetic ear and voice for her is, I think, the best way to go about it. I also love that you thought about time as a resource for her. So we think about these resources like formula and obviously money as a resource and support as a resource, but time as a resource, I think, is something that gets overlooked when we think about maybe the potential barriers that she is experiencing on top of this. So how is she maybe getting to work? And then you talked about, well, she doesn't have time at work to breastfeed or pump. And I think that's a really valuable thing to think about, that she has to be able to have all of those resources in order to feed her child and to go about her daily life. And time is a huge resource that sometimes we can take that for granted when we are not experiencing the same kind of barriers that other people are experiencing. I also love that you talked about providing support for her, emotional support, when you recognize that she does not have the support that she needs. So she comes in and is stressed and talks about feeling unsupported. And so being that support for her is a really valuable and important aspect of counseling. Um, I think that you did a really great job in emphasizing and recognizing her challenges and her barriers and trying to address them in a way that felt sustainable and appropriate for her. So I think you approached the situation really well, and I really enjoyed watching your video. Thank you.